Right, so user interface.
Pushni, just one small help I need on that. How do I put a code in the next line? I mean, in other words, break a line, like you put it out in HTML.
Mm-hmm.
So between two buttons, two text, or any other component, I mean, when I take a horizontal linear layout, all
Mm-hmm.
of them comes same line. But
Yes.
if I want to make a grid so that two buttons at the same line, and then the next one I want to bring it out in the next line.
Yeah, that you can do by linear layout. Just share your screen, I will tell you once. Right, so this is the reason why we use layouts. Right.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah. And for giving for more space, we can use padding or margin.
So there is no simple way to go to next line, break line.
Yeah, you can do like this. Just a second. Just right. So this is your edit text, right? So
Right.
after that, what you can do is here you have used linear layout, right? It is vertical. Now you want this is text view. Is this needed? Text view?
Text view needed. I mean, if I have to enter a email ID.
Okay. So what you have to do is again you have to use another layout. Here again I will put a linear layout and I will add width and height. And here what we will do, we'll add orientation. So orientation is horizontal. Even if you don't add
Okay.
orientation, it will by default take it as a horizontal. Right. So first I will add the text view.
Okay.
Right. Here I can add enter your ID. And here in width, always take it as either wrap content or fill parent, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you want more space, you can add padding, margin, everything, right? So padding here you will use. Padding you can add anything 20 dp or 30 dp, and then you can add margins, right? So margin, if you want from left, you can give it from left, bottom, top, right, fine. And again, um, use this edit text inside this horizontal, right? So here also we don't need this. We'll check this later what this means, right?
Okay.
Fine. So this is how
So
we have to design it.
now suppose if I want to put two more spaces under this and the next text view password.
Now where you are telling? Here, right?
Like after email ID, I want two more lines, or I want to put a password in second half. Enter, next.
So you want it like form, right?
What I want is the password should not be right under email ID. After two lines, password should come.
Okay, so you want more space between your email ID
More
and
space between.
password. So yeah, that's why
Right.
for that we have to use margin top, right? So here password, right? So here take uh, margin top. We have something called margin top, right?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. And here just check how much 20 dp is, right? Or you want
Okay.
more space, then just add 30 dp.
Okay. Okay. Got it. Margin top.
Yeah, margin you have to use. Margin
Okay.
and a padding. These both are used for giving more space, right?
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Sure.
And you can give the uh, text size. This also you can do.
So when to use margin and when to use padding?
Padding means it gives the size to all the four sides, equal size. That means 20
Okay.
from left, top, right, and bottom. And margin means
Okay. Okay.
only margin top. So it will give margin from only top, and that too only 30.
Okay. Okay. Got it.
Clear?
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
So here I have used one main layout that is vertical. That is main layout. That is whole screen. That is vertical. And inside that I am taking individual horizontal two layouts. Here, this is whole vertical layout, and inside that I have taken horizontal layout. And in that I have added two text fields. There is one text field and one is edit text. Again, you have to take horizontal layout and then enter password and the edit text of password.
Okay. So between two linear layout, we can also put a gap also, like to start that with margin top.
Yes, that also you can do. Here.
Okay, got it. Yeah. Thanks. Thanks, Bhushan.
Okay. Okay, you can stop your screen share now.
Sure.
Fine. So
Yeah.
this was all about user interface. Fine. So user will use our application and they will either click or they will scroll, type. So these are our user interfaces. So for user interface, we have input controls. That is buttons, menus. We have text box. We have keywords and microphones. Right. So we can also go from one activity to another activity. So we will just check on how to go from one activity to another activity. For example, you are in a login screen and you after login you want to go to your main screen. So for that what you will use, that we'll check. So these are all the inputs, right? So just like you have already added text view and edit text, similarly you can add checkbox, radio button and toggle button. These three you can try, right? These three are easy. Others we will do again, right? So in the last session we have already checked in details how to add UI components, how to add layouts, right? So we'll again check in detail. Can anyone share your screen? I'll create a small project on user interface and navigating from one screen to another screen.
Okay, I will share.
Okay. Okay.
Can you able to see?
Yes. Fine. So let's create a new project. Can you create a project? Go to file and create a project.
What should be the name?
User interface. And so these are
Empty, right?
yeah.
Or basic?
Let's do one thing. Let's open basic activity. Are you able to run your project in your virtual device?
I tried 2-3 times. My virtual device got crashed.
Okay.
Yes, first project I tried it. So since it was only screen, it worked fine. I didn't try any launch and buttons.
Okay.
Okay.
Is the second project open and have you shared your desktop? If you have shared only project, then I will not be able to see the second project.
Oh, okay. No, I've shared Android Studio. I will stop and will share again.
Okay.
Okay.
So this is a very simple Hello World project. So today we are going to check about button and its on-click listener. Are you clear with on-click listener now?
Yes.
Have you tried on-click listener on any button?
Not after first session.
Okay. Okay, so now change this layout to linear layout. Change this whole layout to linear layout. Just add linear layout, nothing else. Just add linear layout.
Capital L.
There should be left arrow key before linear. This is XML, so XML will not accept anything in plain text. So everything you have to add in this. Yes.
It, so, okay, you got Android. Do you want me to?
Yes. Oh, what happened? Sorry, I was also doing it.
No, I didn't do anything. 1 minute. Okay.
Yeah. Right. So I'll just what I will do is if I'm missing any of the square, sorry, the complete brackets, what I will do is I'll just give the slash and it will complete it automatically.
Okay.
Fine. So I don't need this text view as of now. So right now what I'm doing is I'm using all the things of resources. So I'm going to use values today, right? First of all, let's add this button over here. I have a button. Right? I'm also adding a text view. Right? So here let me add another layout. And I'll just take this text view and button inside this layout. So I don't need this weight as of now. I'll just add simple orientation. As vertical. And here also we can give the padding. For example, I give 30 dp. So from all the sides it will add the padding. Right? Fine. So I want to use the colors. So here I have 3 colors. Let's use these colors. Fine. So what I will do is I want some color in background. So I'll just write background. And I have 3 options. Right. So you can select any of the options. Now to change the text color, we can use this. Fine. So I have used the colors and now we can use the strings. So string is same as colors that we have used. So string means, just a second. What string will mean? It will be clear. First, let me declare the string first. Fine. So in color, what we did for background, I have changed the color. I have used this XML from values folder, right? So can you tell me how to add this text in this button from string? Any idea? So just write, just give control and space. Can you see string login?
Yes.
Once I'll give enter, it will show button login. Whatever I will add in this string, it will be shown here. Right? Why we are using
Okay.
string? The string is used, for example, you have one common button in your whole screen. I mean, in your whole application. For example, you have an application and you have 25 screens in that, and there is a single button that is used in each and every screen. And if client says that he wants to change the name on the button, So you're not going to change on each and every string. So what you'll do, you'll just change over here. Once you'll change in this string, it will be changed in all the strings, right? So that is the reason we use the string XML.
Okay.
Now the button, let's go to Java part. Fine. So I'm going to declare the button first. What is the syntax? I have to give button. I have to define it first. Fine. So how to define? Any idea?
What's the question?
How to define this button? Button I have used in XML. Now I want to declare it in my Java file.
We have to link that.
Yeah. So what we will use for linking the button?
Dot.
Yeah. But how? We are using find view by ID, right? This is a method that will link your Java and XML file. Button. It's button, right? But something is missing over here. It is also showing error, right? R.java file is going to return the address that is integer, and button is a widget. So we have to wrap it. So we get option here, cast to widget. Just click on that. Here,
Yep.
yeah. Now we
So
have
in backend, where it would have been reflected?
it will
So
not.
you just change type of variable, right?
Yeah, I have not changed the type of variable. I have just casted it. This find view by ID will return the address, right?
What does it mean by cast?
Cast means, for example, just a second, right? So you have added a button in your XML. This is a button. So and now you have this is your r.java file, right? So this is your R file. Anything you write in your right? So this is Java file. And whatever you add in your XML file, right? It will be added in your Java file. But in r.java file, everything is saved as an address. So this button will be saved as an address. This button is stored somewhere. It has some address like, let's say, it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is address of the button. For example, you have a text view over here. It also has a button. I mean, it also has its own address. It has some other address. So whatever you add in your XML, it is stored in your Java file, r.java file, with a unique address. Now in your class, this is your class. This is your main.java class. Here you are going to, what you are going to use, you want to declare the button because you are going to use it. So for that, what you will do, you have to link between button and address. Right? Are you getting how to link between button and address? For that, we use r.java file.
Right.
And this is A widget. Button is a widget, and r.java file has address. So we have to link the widget and the address by using find view by id method. Clear?
Yeah, but you change it to cast, right? So
Yeah.
earlier button was string, and then you change it to Android.
Button is button. Button is never a string. I have declared it as a
No,
button.
this button.
Hmm.
This button is same as this button, right?
Yeah, it is the name of button. This is the name of button. This is a widget. Are you getting?
Okay.
Right? So this is a widget. This is a widget. This is not a string.
Okay.
This is a widget and we will link it with address. String is different. You can declare a string like this. If I declare, then only it is string.
Okay. Okay.
So we have a button widget and its name is button. You can give any name, like login also I can give.
Hmm.
But it should be same as this. Right, so we'll add on click listener on this button. Can you please add it? Login dot. Yes.
No, I forgot.
Yeah, you just write login dot set on click listener. Just write set. Yeah, that is third option. Set on click list and enter. Right, and inside that write new on click listener. New and space. New and should be small. And space and write on O capital. Right, enter. Right, so we have a method on click listener.
Okay.
Fine. So what I have done, I have added a button in my XML file. I have declared it in my Java file. And now I have on click listener on my login button. Fine.
Okay.
Easy now.
Yes. Yes.
Now what I want to do is, this is my text view. I have a text view over here. Right. So now can you please declare this text view in your Java file? Just do as I have done for button. Right.
Sure.
Just take a text view after button. No, not here. You
First
have to
define class.
you have to define it before on create method, right? Yes, there you have to define it. So it will be used in your whole Java file. In this whole file, you can use this. It is called as global variable,
Okay.
right? So if I am yeah. If I am declaring anything before on create, that means I am using it globally. So here you have to, what you have to do is give T capital. So just write text in T capital and you will get the option. Yes, first option. You cannot give view.
Hmm.
See,
Okay. Okay.
in Java
I
there
will
are
give
some
some
keywords. Yes.
something.
Yeah, it's okay.
It says enter ID is never used.
Semicolon. So in Java, in normal language, what we do, full stop is the end of the sentence. In Java, everything will end by semicolon,
Okay.
right? So how you will know that you have not declared your any of the widgets? For example, you have 50 widgets in your screen, right? So if you have
Mm-hmm.
declared your widget, it will be in pink color,
Mm,
right? So button is declared
okay.
in pink color, and text you have
Okay.
not yet defined it,
Mm-hmm.
so it is in gray color.
Okay.
So that means that you have not yet used it. So you have to again
Okay.
do as you have done in button, right? So after this login button
Hmm.
on create method here, right? After the login, you have to declare the text view.
Okay.
And give equals to and find view by ID and enter. Right? So it is text view, right? T mod. Yes, just enter and a semicolon. Right? Just it is showing some error. So click on the
Hmm.
error. Yeah. Click on the red line. Just a red line. Yes. And then you can see the red bulb left side.
It's cost.
And just add cast. Okay. We're done. Right? No.
It
Now we
should.
don't have to do anything. Right? So this is
Okay.
not, we are not going to use set click list around text view. So now what I,
Yeah. Okay. Only it's view.
yes. So what I want is
So,
once you click on your login button in your text view, it should reflect it. So what we can do is enter ID dot set text. This is the method. Clicked on button. Fine. So we'll just
so one minute. So this is only text to you, right?
yes. On text view, it will show. Once you click on button, it will show that you have clicked on the button.
Okay.
We'll open this emulator bit because it will take some time to start it. Fine. So this is how I can change the text. Fine.
One minute. Huh?
Yeah. This is a text view. It has nothing as of now. I can remove the text from here also. Right. I will just remove this. Fine.
So one minute. If you go here and in Java file,
Okay.
so when someone clicks on button, it will say clicked on button, right?
Yeah.
But for that, okay, since okay, it doesn't have any relation with whatever the text we created. Okay, okay, got it.
I'm just showing like if you want to change any of the text from your Java file,
Hmm.
then how you will change is what you will do is you will add set text. This is a method.
Okay, okay, okay,
Fine. So can
okay.
you please check whether the emulator is started or not? It is still starting. Okay. Not an issue. So now let's talk.
1 minute, but
Yeah.
it's not
Let's
showing
talk
anything.
something about
Okay.
going from one page to another page. Right. So how you'll do how to implement navigation, that is from one screen to another screen. Right. For that we use intent. Intent is not only used for going from one screen to another screen. We can do lot many things with intent, right? So let's check what are intents and how to process the intent, right? So intent is basically a concept in which you will be allowed to jump from one screen to another screen. For example, a Facebook. So in Facebook, what you have the first screen, that is a logo screen, and then it comes a login screen. Then you add your email ID and password and click on the button, and then you are redirected to home screen,
Okay.
right? So this
Yes.
navigation is done by using intent. Fine.
Okay.
So we have two types of intents. One is
Uh,
explicit intent.
where are you renting? Do you want to share your screen?
Uh, just a second.
Okay. Now it's come. No, it has come.
Okay. Fine. So there are two types of intents. One is explicit intent and another one is implicit intent. So what is explicit intent? It is,
That if
yeah.
I will try to not sure, but just I'm guessing that suppose if you launch next page,
Mm-hmm.
then you can't go back. In implicit, you can go back to parent or whatever the first page is.
Yeah.
Is it right?
Yeah, kind of.
No.
But yeah, it is related to this only. Your answer is nearby same. So this explicit intent, this will take it as different application, right? Not for only one application. So for explicit intent, what we'll do is uh, that means you are using it within the same application. You are using something in the same application, right? So that is explicit intent. And what is implicit intent? When you're using something out of your app. Sorry. Right? So example of explicit intent is your Facebook. And what is the example of implicit intent? For example, you get an
Bank.
SMS. You get an SMS that you have some free coupons and all, and you get a link, right? And when you click
Okay.
on that link, you will be redirected to browser. So from SMS application, you are going to browser. So that is implicit intent.
Okay.
Clear?
Yes. So like opening a dialer from the application, maybe like from Uber or Ola. When you say call driver, it opens dialer, right? So it's a implicit intent.
Yes, it's
Is it?
implicit intent,
Okay.
right? There are
Okay.
some links in your Gmail. If you open it, you are redirected to other websites. So that is implicit.
Mhm. Okay.
So explicit intent can be used to jump from one activity to another activity within same application, right?
Okay.
And your implicit intent is like going from one application to another application. Sometimes you get a number on your SMS app, and when you click on that number, you either can open dialer or Skype or any other options.
Okay.
Fine. So these
Yes.
are two types. Now let's check the syntax of the intent. So the app it's still building.
No, it's done.
No, can you see a great build running? So once,
Oh, okay.
yeah, so it will take 1 or 2 minutes because it takes time to load. It will create full APK, then it will run on this virtual device. I've sent
Okay.
you some links on your email regarding how to run your app from directly Android Studio to your Android device. You just have to connect with USB and click on this play button. Can you see this play button?
Okay.
If you click on that play button, you can see option of your Android device on Android Studio.
Okay.
Fine. So by the time it gets created, let's check how to add intent. So for intent, we'll need two screens, right? So one screen we already have. That is the main activity.
Hmm. Hmm.
Now let's check another screen. Yeah, create one more activity. Go to Java and right click and new activity.
1 minute. I can't able to click.
Yeah, it
I
will.
think still it's executing.
Okay. Let it run then. Right. So today, if you get time, just go through the assignments because tomorrow we are going to do very important part of Android. Because once you, if you will miss that, then yeah, you will not be able to do very big applications. So tomorrow we are going to use adapters. So adapter is used in each and every project of Android, whether it is storage, whether it is navigation, right? Whether it is your services, you will be using it everywhere. So in that
What is that?
it's adapter view. Now can you see two
Okay.
processes running here?
Yes.
So that means your app is almost ready on your emulator. So it will just take 1 or 2 minutes more.
Okay.
So tomorrow we are going to check the adapter view, that is a list view and a grid view. Right. So list view and grid view are used in uh, some famous applications like Book My Show, Zomato. So
Okay.
there you can see the list view. So we have to check with that also.
So it's the same thing, right? List view and grid view. I mean to say, same application. They will just say which view you want, correct?
Uh, it is
Or is
little
it?
different. List view will be like sequence will be there in list view, and in grid view it will be
Correct.
horizontal and vertical both.
Correct.
So it's easy because what happens is Android Studio gives us so many options. For example, I want to declare the button. It will automatically give you that this is error message and this is how you have to declare it, what you have to add it. For example, if you are using something in string, then Just give control space and it will give you options. It will take some more time. This this will take some more time.
Okay, but even Java is not able to open.
Yeah, because it will. This project will get stuck once you are opening emulator. Yeah, your app is ready. Just
Okay.
1 more minute. 1 more minute. So this is the reason I never use emulator. But you should know how to use emulator. Worst case scenario, you should be able to run your app on emulator also. So from tomorrow, we are not going to use emulator. So uh, right, so you have to configure your Android device, and then you will be able to use directly from Android Studio to your device. Right. For example, I want to check. For example, your app is crashing. Then how will you check that how much how much this my code has run and where it is getting me error? What you will do is there is something called log files. Fine. So it will not respond for some time. Not an issue. I will just use this. Fine. So we have log file. So how to use log in Android? Right. So what we can do is I can use log.e. Just remember this. Mostly I use first two things, log.e and log.i. Can you see that? Because I'm not able to
No,
see.
no, no.
Okay.
It takes some time.
Yeah.
Okay.
So log.e is for example, you want
Uh,
to check the error, then log.e. Then log.i, it is for information. D is for debug. There is one more log.v, V for verbose. That means it will give all the messages common, right? Can you open Android monitor? Can you see the Android monitor here? Are you able to open the Android monitor?
where is it?
Left side bottom. Can you see this Android monitor? Okay, I think it is not responding. Is the app ready in emulator? Because this is not running. Right, so this is, let me check. Okay, I'm not able to open the apps.
Should I close the Android Studio and open that?
No. It will take some more time because this emulator itself will take minimum 1 GB on your storage. Okay. Okay, let's do one thing. Just if we can just close this emulator, then we'll. I think we'll be able to do.
Just a minute. I think I have to close this.
Okay. Can you close this emulator, please? This problem we have faced in Eclipse. We used to develop application on Eclipse. Eclipse was so slow that we had to close it twice a day. Android Studio is a smart framework. Okay. So emulator is closed now. Can you hear me?
Yes, Krishna. I can hear.
Okay, so we can do one thing. Can you just share your screen? I will just show the intent now.
My screen or Karati?
Yeah, I think his screen is freezed. Will not be able to, I think now we cannot even, yeah, it will freeze whole laptop itself. Okay, you can share your screen.
Okay, just a moment. You see,
Okay.
Karati is not there.
So what you will do today, right? So just uh, right click over here
Mm-hmm.
and create all types of activities. Just go to new activity. First create login activity, or for example navigation drawer activity.
Okay. I tried to create a login activity, but the layout all was very different. I was not able to find design.
Okay, no problem. We'll just check this. Right. So once you create navigation activity, Next, what you will do is you will go to your manifest file. Right? See, can you see? I have created only navigation activity, but I have activity, I have app bar, I have content, and I have navigation header.
Yeah.
Fine. So we have 4 XML file creating a design. So how will know what is design? For that, go to your manifest file. We have to run the app, right? So I'll just add this as a launcher. I'll just cut and I will add the launcher as my navigation activity. That is my newly created activity.
Okay.
Yeah, can you paste it here?
Yeah.
Yes. Are you going to paste it over here?
Yeah, I pasted. Here only I have to paste.
In the navigation activity. So before the activity closes.
Is it fine?
Okay, I think I'm not able to see the refreshed one. Just a second. Okay, just a second. Okay, I cannot see the changes.
I have not done anything on this file.
Okay. Can you open navigation.java file? Either internet is slow or your
Okay. Navigation.java.
yes. Have you opened it? Because I'm not able to see.
Yes, yes, navigation.java.
Okay, just a second. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, so is this meeting going okay? Because I'm also not able to see your screen.
No problem. We can do it tomorrow.
Okay, no, I can I will just restart this meeting.
Okay, okay, no problem.
I'll just
I think Kalatit is also not there.
okay, I will tell him to reconnect again.
Okay.
I'll just restart it. Just click this link again. I'll just start this.
Okay, okay, sure.
Okay, just stop your screen from there, and then I will be able to restart it. Fine, now you can share your screen.